making sure that we're logged in live.
All right. All right, then let's move on with the agenda.
We'll make sure that we're.
We're ready to go, right?
We are.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the agenda here. First thing, are there any changes to the agenda?
I don't have any.
Public comment, Kate, sorry. You have a list of public comment folks?
Yeah, there's Rick Fletcher, Rhonda Melton, and Bill.
So let's start with Rick.
Got something for you guys real quick. The old staff. Got some board meeting minutes from January 12th, 2021. Since I got 2 minutes, I'll make this sweet and short. I handed you all the meeting minutes from the January, oh, do I have to state my name and address first?
Yes, you're supposed to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Rick Fletcher, 32481 Highland Road, Rainier, Oregon. So I handed you all the meeting minutes from the January 20 meeting right off the website. As I highlighted in yellow, the parts I want to bring to your attention. The first was the chief's contract was approved and he was sworn in. Also at that meeting, resolution 2020-2106, TANS fund retirement was brought to the board for approval. It stated the TANS fund was not used for the 3 previous years and the district has a line of credit if emergency presented itself. The resolution was approved and passed unanimously. In the board comments, several board members thanked Merit for doing this and getting the district off of TANs. TANs have been part of our budget here for many, many years. After listening to the chief's tirade last month about how the financial solution was everybody else's fault and that TANs have been taken away from him, I guess the whole situation then is the board's fault. He didn't even know when TAN's fund was closed. Sanchez had to remind him, even though he was here when it was done. Not once did I hear him take ownership of the situation the district is in, just blame it on everybody else. My taxes didn't go down the prior year. No, they went 3% increase, at least you, the chief, you overspent your budget. Like the $370,000 Taj Mahal remodel, which by the way, what month was that discussed and approved? Because there's no discussion of it or approval or anything of it. This is the worst shape this fire district's been in 30 years I've been around. Morale is an all-time low. Most of the district's crews, line staff don't want to be here anymore. This board has the ability to fix this mess. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Thank you. She online?
I don't see anybody.
Okay, then if she pops up, then let us know and we'll bring her sort of back. Bill?
Hello, I'm Bill Goodwin, retired Division Chief Paramedic with Columbia River Fire and Rescue. I'm just here to ask what's going on with my health insurance. I understand that was discussed at last month's meeting. And I've been hearing different stories, so I just wanted to come and get it straight from the board as to what's going on.
Yeah, so I talked to you before the meeting. I've also talked to Jimmy Sanchez, and I think the plan is to have you 2 guys meet up and discuss it in the future, and sometime in the future, maybe next couple weeks, just to go over it and make sure that everyone is clear about what's going on.
The documentation that you provided us was a huge help, and I thank you for it. It actually is gonna benefit you a great deal. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Okay, that's it, just those 3?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let me know if there's any, it's Rhonda signed up, if not, okay. So next on the agenda is, correspondence. I think we have one item in the correspondence. And then, If there's any comments about that in the board?
You're referring to the letter from London?
And if there's nothing, no comments on it, then we'll move on to the consent agenda, which has the meeting minutes from January 10th, 2022. It also has the cash flow analysis. Just those two things, I believe. Your motion.
Motion made to approve.
Will you approve? So this would be the meeting minutes and then regarding the cash flow.
So he stated,
Oh, sorry.
on
The
the.
minutes and the cash flow necessary.
I jumped. I apologize. My apologies. I'll second. Discussion.
Yeah, so. I've seen the. Recorded version. Of our last meeting and looking at the minutes. And I think it's in our best interest if. We're putting everything in there, not summarizing in our printed minutes. Why? I. Would say there's a few things that are missing. So. That's just my thought.
Do you want to make edits to it or? What you're thinking of? I'm just thinking process.
I'll not make edits at this time, but I think that. We should, I'll leave it at that, think about what I just said.
There's things, so much stuff. I've been in an organization where it decided that it had to be verbatim. And then, any money we saved from we just did is gonna go out the window because it really takes a lot. Order and plus all the publishing and all that. And I think that our recording is our document, and I think there's a best practices to follow as far as how we do minutes. And so if we're not following best practices on our minute taking, then by all means, I think we can sharpen that or improve that or whatever you feel needs to be done. But well, I mean, I don't think, let's put it this way, so verbatim minutes are not what we're interested in. I don't believe.
Okay.
But I think,
But we'll use the recording as.
I think that, and I don't want to misspeak, I think that is the real legal document. I think. And I think this is a summary.
Yeah, because the summaries for the meeting minutes, the summary is okay. Because I remember this part of the SDO training, like they gave you like, this is what was said and then how it was summarized. And what was okay was remarkably short. So I mean, we have the recording. So that's there. And then we've got the meeting minutes, which is really a summary of it. So I mean, I understand, if you want to make edits, I think we should propose those. If you want another alternative, we should,
No, that clears it up.
And certainly if there's an error that, we need to correct errors or something, we see and recognize.
Okay, I just had a question for Chief Sanchez.
Sure.
So just to clarify, I think we've talked about this before. So income, we have July, August, September, October, 272, 347, 434, 186. Those.
Are you looking at the cash flow, sir?
I'm sorry, I wasn't very clear. Cash flow, and I'm looking at the income side.
Okay.
Total deposits.
Yeah.
Could you just give me a little more, give the board a little more detail? Those numbers seem high on a monthly basis, because granted the 7.4 in November, of course, is taxes.
Yes, sir.
So can I assume the 4 months prior are all ambulance revenue?
For the most part, yes, sir. And this is the most literally transparent record that this district has ever seen in terms of, so this goes based off of our bank statements. There's no miscalculating it. I take the bank statements and I go line by line to double check, because past records in this district have been wholly inaccurate, unfortunately. So this goes to each electronic statement. And then I go through line by line and everything that goes in, I document it and I put it into this thing. I do a running tally and I get that every month. Now, we do have EMS revenue that's coming in. Most of it is that. This is the electronic EMS revenue. And that's why it says Columbia Pacific. That's why it says EMS Technology, Pacific Source Record. Go through every single one that we see in there. And I add that and I tally it up to give us this cash flow analysis to show you what we have cash on hand at the end of the month.
So my question is always more about in terms of dollar amounts. It seems higher than what we had projected for our cash. So for
Yes.
example, we're really not expecting $434,000 a month.
No
in
strings.
ambulance revenue. So
So, yes, sir. In terms of that, the System Design West that Chief took care of and adding for us, it appears that they are giving us more revenue. So year end stuff, they close out the accounts for it closer to year end and stuff, and then they get those higher spikes, or they get, everybody pays closer to the tax year and stuff. So there's a tax write-off and you can see those spikes in.
okay, so these are more reflective of insurance carrier and other people payments
Yes.
for bills we have submitted for ambulance
Yes, sir.
revenue. Okay,
Mhm.
great. And then on the next page is the expenses.
Yes,
So-
the cap paid out.
Yeah, I think just for clarification, I believe the top line is the paper checks?
Yes, sir.
Checks paid. So these are the ones that go through the organization are physical checks.
Yes.
That are written in a second, okay. And then everything else is electronic payments?
Yes, so anything that goes through, as you can see, payroll is in there. I don't line out each person's payroll, but that big chunk down there is payroll, that's electronic payment that goes out. And that's the total payroll for that month. That's what I put in. And then the US Bank, the employer PERS contributions, you can see how much we contribute to PERS every month. All that goes through there, and then everything else we pay. I mean, from the Loyal Health, like they take a little bit of money back when they do an adjustment through the EMS billing. It's just, I'm just picking examples. iStream, which is a lot of our EMS billing comes from them, like some adjustments like $10, $60. And then even our Columbia River PUD payments that go through electronically. You can see like the latest one was $3,403.56. So,
And we're doing those electronically just to make sure we pay on time and.
yes, sir. And then those are our standard utilities, like electric, gas and stuff. It's something we're gonna have to pay them.
And we're going by tracking too. The whole goal is to not be doing finances with like a pencil on a sheet of paper. It's to everything have an electronic fingerprint so that you know who's doing what's paying what number goes with what, and we can account for every single penny.
Okay.
That's the goal.
I'd do a follow-up on there. Under that, employee contribution for PERS,
Yes,
quite a difference between the previous months and then in November was very small.
so they don't always, when Kate takes care of it as well, because she does it on payroll. So it's different. It depends on how much overtime you're running, right? So everything that contributes to PERS goes into that calculation changes, and they don't always take it. So you see the huge jump sometimes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
it went
might-
from 267,000 down to 7,500.
yeah, and then they don't take, so sometimes it doesn't always go in, you know.
It doesn't go in one calendar month. It might be 2 deductions in 1 month.
Okay.
It doesn't fall on the.
Okay, yeah, because early on you got 245,000, next month is 38.
Yes,
See, the
Yeah.
reason you're seeing it like this is because the way it was reported before, it was averaged out and given to you on an average. So it looked like it was a regular payment, but that's not how it's done. This is how it's done.
it actually doesn't even come out, the numbers I put in there. Like, for instance, the latest numbers of $258,484.59 for our first contribution. When you look at it by the statement, it doesn't even come out like that in lump sum. It's like 60,000, 40,000, 70,000. You know, it's jumbled. It's not even that. I add it together.
For the month.
Yeah, for the month.
Okay.
So if I get it right, I think we're averaging payment out about 900,000 a month.
Yes, sir.
And we're revenue wise for ambulance, we are about,
We're about, what if you average it out based off the old, now I can only see accurate records. previous year, right? That I was able to build out because I went through the previous year bank statements every single month, line by line. And we're averaging about 150, 155 for ambulance revenue.
Okay, so our actual money out is 900 minus 150, essentially, so 750.
Yes, sir. Granted that, now there's some changes that I brought up last meeting. Medicaid dropped reimbursement 8%. So you can expect a drop in Medicaid transports 8%. So that's something in the super rural district, we were used to be getting that. They killed that as of January 1st. We were getting an extra incentive because we were considered super rural because of our transfer time. So there's gonna be a little bit of an 8% drop on those bills. And that's from federal. There's nothing we can do.
Also, in the upcoming years, you'll see that, Chief Sanchez did a great job. We were headed for a 21% increase. 21?
Yes, for our liability insurance.
For liability insurance. We made some adjustments and we ended up turning a 21% increase into a 4.
Well, so over the 21% increase, remember the resolution I asked you guys if we could increase, I'm transparent. I asked you guys if we could increase the deductible, the 5,000. They gave it back to us. I'm still making sure it's the final review is in, but we have our insurance cards. It's 104,000 that we're gonna be paying annually. So it was from the original quote he gave me, we're saving 5 as of right now. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot better than full 21% based off of the premium increase. And this is through SDIS.
If there's a penny somewhere, we're trying to squeeze it out.
Questions?
Credits deposits, the bottom of the page, it has Oregon State Police con flag.
Well, great question. So that is actually, Kate, her due diligence as well. We've been working on that. So when they go out on a conflict, when they get deployed through Chiefs might send teams out as well. After that, we have to put in a ton of paperwork for the state. Actually, Mr. Knobs will know about that too. We have to put in a ton of paperwork and these are the reimbursements. So the reimbursements of sending our team out, sending a truck out, and then that is, I actually added that line recently because they started finally paying it in. So that is why you see that new.
But Oregon State Police.
It comes from them, yes.
State Fire Marshal's Office currently still falls under the superintendent's police. Yep. Then they'll be their own separate.
Yeah.
Here after the month. Yep.
Any additional questions? Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second, we've had discussion. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Okay, all opposed? It's 5-0, motion carries. Okay, next to the chief officer report.
Nothing to report. We do have one thing that we need signatures for though.
You explain?
If you guys, okay, so do you remember the original resolution, for check signers and stuff that I gave you guys a while back?
That was the first flurry of 11.
Yes. The first flurry of all of them. This is just housekeeping for US Bank because I gave them the resolution and now we're finally, getting them to take care of it on their back end as well. We have been practicing it. This is just signing based off that resolution that says this exactly based off that. So I need everybody's signature saying that you guys approve these check signers based off that resolution.
All right.
Yeah, so I'll pass that around. Sign that here. Okay. That goes.
You plan to, Kim is gonna be probably on the account, so
I actually don't think.
Kim on the signs.
No, sir, she's not. So it's you. Same thing this week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's filtered. Yes.
There's one.
For each of the district. So I'm just packing that.
See. Here's it.
What is the, which page?
It's the only one, we're the only two on that one.
I'm not sure. It goes for all of it, it's just.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I know in the packet, there's the chief officer report, so I know you don't have anything to add, but are there any questions for the chief? For the chiefs?
I didn't have anything.
So we should have all the final inspections for the remodel and move-in date by February 15th tomorrow.
Well, they're doing the final electrical, and the final mechanical, by the end of the week. We should be actually headed into the office, thank God, probably by the middle of the following week. It'd be nice to have everybody in the same place so we can, you know, actually start getting some more things done.
Okay, anything else for the chief officer's report? We don't have anything on the agenda for old business or new business. So we can move right into board member comments. You want to start?
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody in the organization. We're here, it's good feedback. The kind of services we deliver, both for fire and EMS. Most of my feedback is reading my Facebook, so I've got, necessarily all of that, but it's really positive things. And the next thing I'd like to talk about is, or at least let everybody know that those that one of our past members is the one who I worked with for 27 out of my 28 years, passed away on Sunday. Name's Joe Baker. Was a longtime lieutenant here. He was probably lieutenant for 25 years. And had as much respect, do have as much respect for him as I had any man I've ever met. It's not gonna have, there's no services, so we're not gonna have a presence or anything like that. But I thought it was important for people to know that Joe passed on, and he made significant contributions in his own way throughout his career, and he'll be missed. That's all I got.
Kim, do you have any comments for tonight?
The audio on this is horrible, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I really don't have anything this month.
Okay, that's nice. That's short and sweet. Mark, I know it's your birthday, so you want to get home, so.
Oh, happy birthday, Mark.
Mark's gonna be 39 this year.
Whoa.
Again?
So he's gonna be 39 again. So, Mark, do you have any comments?
Retirement looks good.
Chief, when's the filing deadline for our upcoming election in May?
Middle of next month. No, seriously.
Yeah, I know it's in March, I just want to put what this.
I believe it's, I think, we're on 16. Something like that.
All the special districts.
All especially as we're saying, right?
Yeah.
I'm in that neighborhood now, don't quote me. God forbid.
I went to the SDAO conference and it was as always, it was very good. It was very nice to be in person again after a 3-year hiatus of doing Zooms. Learned a lot as always. Some of the same classes I took, there was a lot more information and different things happening based on legislative and court rulings. I've got a bunch of notes that I'm gonna print up. And I'll probably just talk to the chief about it. And what I heard and what I learned. So, that's it. Thank you.
Kelly?
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything under. So, with that, I believe we're done for tonight. So.
Yeah.